something a little bit different here. It's a little how-to video. Recently I've had a few people email me, some people I've helped transition over and whatnot, and you know, as most people when they first start transitioning and they start getting into having tanks and using different coils and whatnot, you want to try as many different flavors as possible. So what you end up doing is you end up having a bunch of tanks that have juice into it. You have a bunch of coils that you've changed flavors, and it gets kind of expensive after a while of having to go out and keep on replacing these coils and really having these sitting around. And so I'm going to show you what I do on how I clean my coils and my tanks, my RDAs, and not having to use a dry burn, because I know that's very, very frustrating for a lot of new people that they go out and they see how, from different techniques of other people saying that you can, clean your coils to dry burn them and whatnot. And a lot of them have been very frustrated on either burning out the coil or scorching the wick and then having that flavor last into there. So, and so they end up with a pile of tanks, coils, and whatnot here. So this, like I said, I'm going to show you what I do and how I go about cleaning them, and and then we can go from there. And so let's get this started here. And you don't need a lot of tools. You don't need really any tools. You just really need what you need is a couple containers like this here, a couple of these with lids so you can close them off. You're going to need a cleaning tool like this here. You'll need a few Q-tips like this, and one of the most important ingredients is vodka. I know you're probably saying, what? Yeah, we'll get over that in a minute. And you'll also need some vapor towels. So what I do here is, to get going, is I will take one of these containers and I will fill this about halfway with water, which I'm going to pause the video here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this halfway up with water, and then I'm going to put it in the microwave for about a minute 30 seconds or so. I want to warm up the water. So sit back, relax, I'll be right back. So now we're back here, and you can see I got the water here, and all you're going to do is you're going to take all your extra coils that you have, you're going to place them in that hot water. You can start taking these other tanks apart that also have those coils and toss them in there. Set that to the side. You got many different styles, of course. You got pro tanks, you got here, you got EVODs, you got iClear 30s, iClear 30Bs, you got CE5s, and but like I said, we're just here, we're going to take out all the different coils so we can let them do what they got to do here. And as you can see, a lot of these coils aren't really all that bad, but what happens is, like if you're using a dark flavor here, this is a chocolate mint, and if you try to just rinse it out like the way that they show you on the internet, a lot of times you're still going to have that mint taste. So this is why I do what I do here, and I'll explain as we're going along here. I'm just trying to go through all the motions here to get all these out of here. Yeah, there we go. A little juicy, so a little hard to grip. So after you got all those in there, my hands, you're gonna put a cover on that. Set it to the side for about 20 minutes, just so they're out of the way. And after about 20 minutes or so, you just, 15-20 minutes, you're just gonna every so often just give it a little swirl like that. So I don't know if you can pick that up, but and just let it soak there for a little bit. And like I said, you're gonna repeat this step twice, but you're gonna go through that, and like I said, after about 15-20 minutes, just do this here, and then you're gonna dump out that water and dump out the parts into like a little catch-all, just so you can catch those. And you're gonna take that and rinse out that container, and you're gonna do that again. Fill it up halfway, microwave it about a minute, minute and a half, just to get it good and hot. You don't want it to be boiling because you don't need it that hot. But like I said, you can just do that, and then like I said, you just leave it in there, and after only a couple minutes you can already start seeing the water. I don't know if it'll pick it up here or not. I'll take out the lid off, but as you can see, the water is already turning a different color because it's loosening up all the different juices and whatnot in there. And as you can see in some of these here, these tanks, it's a lot of this stuff started out like a auburn color, and what happens is as you're using it, and I use a lot of heavy VGs especially in these type of tanks here, kind of caramelizes the e-juice, and what happens is it gets onto the coils and onto your wicks, and it just doesn't draw as well and whatnot. So this process here is what this does, it loosens up all the juice that's on there and kind of gets it away from the coils a little bit. So we're gonna let that sit for a few moments, and then we're gonna talk about the tanks. So let's put this one to the side here, and we're going to talk about the tanks and how we clean these tanks here, which you can see you got quite a few different styles here. Some of these tanks come apart, some of them don't. Like this CE4, this is one that you're going to take here, and all these parts. I mean, this is a CE5. These will come apart. I should have taken these out because I can replace these. I can put those coils into there, and they're very easy to replace. And put that in there. And like I said, that's pretty simple onto that part, and you don't need any special tools. And you got a all different styles here. CE5, another one, but this one's not one that you take apart. So these, like this style here, you're going to take off your top part, and you're going to dump out whatever juice that might be into there, and then you're going to run it underneath warm water 2 or 3 times, fill it all up, shake it up around a little bit, dump it out, and you're just going to end up taking all of these and just doing that. And after you're all done rinsing them all, you're going to have all these parts here, and the ones that you can take apart, I would recommend taking them all apart all together, giving them a good rinsing, and then when you're done with that, you're going to put these onto the side, just let them air dry for a little while. We'll get back to that in a minute. We're going to speed up through the process. We're actually going to pause through here. We're going to go through, and I'll get these tanks cleaned up, and then I'll show you the process of what we do onto these here. So sit back and relax a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're back here, and you can see I've got everything all just pretty well rinsed out. Like I said there, you just want to clean everything all, let everything all rinse out. So now the second part of this part here for the tanks is you're going to take this other container. Remember I always said there was going to be 2 containers. You're going to take the second container, and you're going to take the vodka, and you're going to fill this up about halfway. And you can get yourself some orange juice too if you want to take a quick shot, but that's not what we're here for. We're using the vodka as a cleaning property. So we're going to take all these accessory parts and we're going to drop them in. This one here doesn't come apart, so you're just going to take the drip tip off. Just let everything soak right into the alcohol. Whatever part you can take apart, do it, because it's just going to clean it, and it's only alcohol, so it's not going to hurt it, and it's going to get all the other aftertaste that you might have not been able to remove with just giving a good rinse and dry burning. So you're just going to put all this stuff into here. And you're going to put the lid on this one. You're going to let this one soak for about an hour. And just every so often give it a swirl, just loosen up everything. And then you'll set this one to the side. So when we come, I'm going to pause this here, and I'm going to go rinse out this tank, this here, because as you can see after the first doing it. The color of that is almost an iced tea color. Well, not quite an iced tea, but you get the point. If I normally have a lot more coils than this. I just, when I was asked with all the different emails, I just figured, you know what, I'll take what I have available and throw those in. But as you can see, as the more it's sitting there, the more it's loosening that up. So I'm going to pause this here. I'm going to refreshen up this. I'm going to dump out these coils, rinse them off. I'm going to heat up some more water, and I'll throw them back on. So hold on one minute. So I rinsed these all off, and I heated up another bowl of them in the microwave again. So we're going to put these back on. We're going to put them back inside of that. Water is hot. Ow. And we're going to let these sit for another 15 minutes. And put the cover back on. And we'll set that to the side here. And we'll just take a quick look at the other. See how these are coming along. They've only been sitting in there for a little while, but like I said, let them sit in there. And just give them a little stir. All that's going to do is just get all the impurities or everything that might have built up inside of those tanks. And you can even lick it off your finger afterward. And we'll let those sit, like we said. So we're going to take a little pause for the cause, and when we come back, we'll do the coils again. I'm going to pause this here, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes. So, okay, so now we're back here, and as you can see, they look a lot cleaner already than when they first started. They were all yellow and nasty and brown and everything else. So we've already rinsed these twice now. So now this is the final time. What we're going to do is we're going to put all these parts into here. One more time. And now this time we're going to take our vodka again, and I'm just going to cover them all up. Usually right around halfway is what I normally do anyways. It won't go to waste because I end up using this over for other cleaning products. So, and then I'll let that sit in there for another 2 hours. So what I'll do after that is, after the 2 hours, is I will take this here and I will take all those parts out. I will put them onto another vapor towel, and I'm going to let those sit there for maybe a day or two, just to let them completely air dry all together. And within a day or two, you can start using them. You got nice, fresh, clean coils. The Atomizer, everything is all going to be beautifully clean, nice and fresh. You're not going to have any aftertaste. And with the alcohol, like I said, it is used as a cleaning, but it also will disperse all the rest of the water that is left into there, and it will dry everything all out, so you don't have to worry about it. And you'll be good to go. So I'm going to set these to the side here, and we're going to check in onto the other parts that are sitting in. They've only been sitting in there about a half hour now. And again, this is just sitting in the vodka, and again, this is not going to go to waste because I'll end up using these for another. But as you can see, it's all it really does is it's going to get all those impurities and everything that would be stuck in your tank that the water will not be able to remove. So we're gonna take another quick pause for the cause, and when we come back, we're gonna do what we do onto the Atomizer. So sit back and relax a few moments, and we'll be right back. And now we're back here, and I've got all the other parts that were all the tanks and stuff. I got all those air drying. So like I said, I saved the vodka that those parts were in. And we're going to take all of our Atomizers. I only got two here. I got one used one and one new one, just to give you a reference. But this is the procedure I always use onto this. And so it's just a regular IGOL. Take the drip tip off and take your cover off. And you want to be able to remove your O-rings because you don't want them soaking in the alcohol. So take those and set that to the side and place that in the alcohol. And now on your new atomizers, and you're probably saying to yourself, well, it's a new atomizer, why should I need to wash it, because there's been many atomizers I have gotten that when you get them in, they covered in oil, machine oil, and they got little metal filings into them. So again, you'll take this all apart here, and of course I need a little help here because my hand just can't do it. There we go. And put your bell in there. And make sure when you take your O-rings off that you put them so you know which ones they came off from, because some of them might look alike, but there might be a different thickness. So come on, don't give me a hard time here. They got juice onto it, so come on. I swear it came off easier than that before. And we'll set that there. We'll put that one in. There, we got those off in there. So now you're going to put those parts into there, and again, you're just going to cover this again for about 15 minutes, and then switch them around, of course, let the alcohol get in onto them. And what that's going to do is that's going to break down any, on the ones you've been using, any residue that you might have onto there. That's going to break that down. And if there's any machine oil on, the alcohol again is going to break that down and disperse that. And just to speed up the process here, what I would normally do after 15 minutes, I would take this, and this is where I would take my cleaning brush, and I would take the atomizer and go through the whole thing and just give it a quick scrub through all the different components onto it. Set it to the side, and just make sure you're getting everything everywhere, just so you can get all the if there's any machine oil, any loose metal fragments or anything. This is really gonna clear that up for you. And it's just good maintenance also. It's like a clean car. It runs better. Same thing. If you've got a clean atomizer, it's going to work better. And again, just clean everything, even like I said, on your, as much as you possibly can. I like this style of brush because you can force it and down into the hole to clean anything that you might have in there, and then give it a quick rinse. I picked up this brush here at my hardware store. I don't know, there wasn't that much. I just asked went in there and I asked the guy in there, what do you have for cleaning brushes for small parts? And he handed me these, so I forget what I even paid for them. And then this is one that was used, and if there's spots onto there that you can't quite really get with the brush, maybe necessarily, that's where you'll take your Q-tip and you'll get in there and work the base, because some of your bases will get some of that. Your e-juice will turn almost, you'll see sometimes that it'll like turn a red color or whatever, and this will just help scrub it all up. And as you can see, even though I was using the brush, I don't know if you can see, but look at all the garbage that was on there. And that's about it. So then after you're done doing this, you'll take these parts and you're just going to go run them under cool water, and put them back in the alcohol again, and you're gonna let them soak overnight. Usually by the next day I'll take them back out, and then I let these air dry, and within, with the alcohol, within an hour or two, I'm able to use my RDAs. The other parts, your tanks, your atomizers and everything, I recommend you let them set for a couple days. It really will disperse all the water that's in there. So that's going to do it. I hope all this information was kind of helpful to everybody, the ones that needed the information, and like I said, and just keep watching, because there will definitely be more of them. So I got plenty of things coming up in the works for more for how-tos. I got more for lots of reviews. But so everybody just keep on watching. So until the next time, everybody, keep vaping.